मोदी सरकार ने हमारी बिजली काट दी है क्योंकि ऑपोजिशन का पॉडकास्ट लेने आए हैं. आई एम नॉट दैट.
They're probably good at rage baiting you.
We're living in an attention economy that forces us to be uncivilized. The loudest person will win. Where's Swachh Bharat? How many public toilets can you use in this country?
Look at the discussions on Twitter. The right is planning an invasion on Instagram because they feel underrepresented there.
I prefer Instagram now because I think it's a far more civilized platform in that way.
Yeah.
And far more representative also. I don't reply to most DMs, I'm very, very sorry. But I religiously reply to the most abusive ones. I was taking a position defending Ranveer because I said it's freedom of speech, and I got a lot of hate on both sides. I will not be able to make a statement on Gaza if it's not my party line. I actually congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi, although I find it inappropriate for him to have gone to Israel right now. At the end of the day, all politicians are hypocrites, me included. It is the least democratic part of this country. Article 370 was better than the state that Ladakh currently has. Do you even know what you're doing when you deal with the internet? The government and all of its attempts to be strong-arming people is actually going against its own interests. It's what happened after Operation Sindoor. The police filed an FIR against me for a कुत्ते का protest.
Affidavit में जाएगा अभी कुत्ते के लिए मैं जेल गया.
कुत्तों के लिए मुझे जेल भेज रहे हैं. I am not going to be like death of democracy. देखिए आप आ गए. You have to laugh. I have so much fun on TV. You can't be a politician and an activist at the same time. I would love to be criticized for being not progressive instead of being criticized for being regressive or being in jail.
Thank you so much, Anish. In fact, you're the youngest person on the podcast so far. I mean, we've had a lot of young people do content for both. But for a podcast guest, you're the youngest.
You know, I'm usually the youngest on national television as well, but I'll take that, yeah? It's always fun to be the youngest somewhere at least.
I've always grown up watching telly and, watching debates earlier on when it used to be more, civilized.
Don't discredit all of them right now. Some of them are still civilized.
Yeah. I don't know which one of them they are, but
I'm not taking any of those sides. Hello, mister.
Well, it's difficult to be civilized.
I'll tell you, in many ways, right? We're living in an attention economy that forces us to be uncivilized.
Yeah.
The average attention span for an Instagram reel right now is 8 seconds.
Something that I was
3 seconds.
Yeah.
How will you be civilized in 3 seconds? The loudest person will win.
I wouldn't be surprised. You make so much noise on Instagram because of everything that you do. I wouldn't be surprised if, your peers totally think that you're absent because you don't get the same kind of attention on Twitter.
Honestly, I think Twitter is a platform that I was very, very active on initially.
Okay.
And I think I was one of the earliest Twitter users.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember Twitter when we used to converse with each other on Twitter. It used to be very few people on Twitter. I've met so many friends on Twitter. People like Gurmeher Kaur, who's still a very dear friend of mine, Shaila Rashid from back in the day.
Yeah.
All of these folks are Twitter friends. Anurag Verma, also an old Twitter friend. Anurag minus Verma, not this
Great
one.
Guy.
But he's Anurag Thakur. The other Anurag Verma
yeah.
is an MP from UP. Doesn't get nearly enough attention. I think Anurag Thakur takes it all. But no, I'll tell you this, right? Twitter is a platform I grew disillusioned with because there's too much hate there and too much trolling. I prefer Instagram now because I think it's a far more civilized platform in that way.
Yeah.
And far more representative also.
But if you look at the discussions on Twitter, the right is planning an invasion on Instagram because they feel underrepresented there.
Correct. And I'm looking forward to that invasion because I think genuinely, the more the merrier, right? I think more perspectives are always a good thing. The platform forces you to address nuance, address the person. A text-only platform can get very vitriolic. It's very hard to say, kill all of these people when you're doing a video than it is to type it.
Yeah. I found the most vile accounts when I know that these are the people who run those accounts, and when I meet them in person, it's like, a 40-something guy
that's what
who's
I'm
an
telling
introvert.
You, right? Like, I don't think, in some ways, I don't believe in the cancel culture that exists right now. If somebody's saying something vile on Twitter, I'm not going to say something vile back. I'm going to ask why. Right? Why are you saying this? And I'd reply, I don't reply to most DMs. I'm very, very sorry. But I religiously reply to the most abusive ones. When I think it's very important, I'm like, but why are you saying this? Do you really think so?
They're probably good at rage baiting you.
But that's fine. But I refuse to be rage baited. I will not respond with rage. Listen, are they better at rage baiting me than national television in India? Let's try. I will.
So
not-
how are you surviving national television then?
I enjoy it thoroughly. I think I've met some incredible people through the sort of debate circuit. I think I've been very grateful to my party that at 27 they made me national spokesperson without coming from a political family or a political background.
Yeah.
And I've been able to have my own voice, which I think is incredibly important, while defending my party to the best of my abilities. And I think very often, as party spokespersons, we forget that we're also in there as human beings.
I think it's mighty impressive too, because you look at any spokesperson, national spokespersons earlier used to be extremely qualified, even now they are. But there is some dilution in the quality.
I
in
think
that
your
sense.
responsibility,
Yeah.
and I was very clear that I
And
would
even
not
they're
be-
forced to adapt to the medium right now and how it behaves.
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you why, right? I think we can create gentler mediums. You know, someone who I admire deeply is Barkha.
Yeah.
Barkha with Mojo has still managed to keep the medium fairly civilized. Those debates might not be as highly well produced as some of the television studio debates,
Yeah.
but they're calm. I've been on her debate many times. And the goal at the end of the day is not to prove your point, because the audience is not a mass audience, but to actually have a conversation. I got so much hate, after Kunal Kamra's studio got broken down.
Yeah.
I was with Rahul Kanal on a debate with Barkha, and it was beautiful. We actually managed to have a sensible conversation instead of calling each other names. And I was like, Rahul, why are you doing this? This is not a good idea. And he said, Anish bhai, you know me as well. And in that civilized tenor, debate even with your political opponent can be very valuable. We've forgotten how to make it valuable.
You're the only party who doesn't enter studios and break them. No, in Maharashtra, the others are all quite
I'll tell you
aggressive.
this. We had a bit of an incident where somebody did try and burn photos of Ranveer Alabhadia
Yeah.
outside a studio in Mumbai. And I was taking a position defending Ranveer and that India's got latent, despite my vehement disagreements with his political opinions.
Right.
Because I said it's freedom of speech. And I got a lot of hate on both sides. They're like,
Yeah.
the left was like, why are you defending this guy? He's always been against us. The right is like, why are you defending this guy? Against Indian values. And I was like, I'm defending him because I believe in constitutional values.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it was one of our folks who had tried to burn one of these posters. And I was like, listen, can you not? This is making me look bad. Yeah, like,
You're contradicting me.
You're contradicting me. Like, or give me a party line, because I was like, on this issue, there's no party line.
Right.
On most issues, I think we forget also, like, it's difficult to have a
Yeah,
party
that's something.
line.
Sometimes you see these party statements, especially from regional parties, say like TDP has some take on what is happening in Gaza, and then you're a little surprised. So how does issuing party whips
No,
and lines work?
Gaza is a very well-defined party line, huh?
Yeah.
Do not assume
For
that
you.
anybody, for every single political party
Yeah.
in the world, do not assume that anybody, I will not be able to make a statement on Gaza if it's not my party line.
Right.
One, I will not be able to make a statement on Gaza.
Because it's largely foreign
thank
affairs.
you very, very much. Sorry?
It has to do with foreign affairs. Is that why?
No. It's because one, it's a very sensitive issue in terms of religious sentiments. Let's be perfectly honest about that. But also, it's something that senior leaders across party lines have had a very well-defined position on.
Right.
So Pawar Sahib has been speaking on Gaza for a very long time, right? And has been in close ties with Palestine and with Israel for a very long time. These are all the people who were the architects of India's foreign policy back in the day, right? Even if you go to an H.D. Devegowda,
Yeah.
he's had a stance on Israel and Palestine for so many years.
Correct.
If you go to Lalu Prasad Yadav, he's had a stance on Palestine for so many years. You go to Ram Manohar Lohia, he's had a stance on Palestine. We forget our political leaders used to actually be erudite thinkers before these sort of circumstances crept in. They've all, for example, our party line, they're disrupting my party line right now. Oi! You're going to kill my plants, yeah. It's okay. They've
I thought
only
it's a
started
monkey.
coming out
I
onto the terrace. No, they've only started coming out onto the terrace a week or 10 days ago, and now they've been very excited to be allowed out from time to time. But see, the party line has to be defined. Because in that way, you can
Yeah.
establish India's foreign policy, which is that there needs to be a two-state solution. We've always believed in the recognition of Israel. We're one of the first countries to recognize Israel.
Hmm.
We've also believed in Palestinian statehood.
Right.
We're one of the few rational voices in the international sphere right now. I actually congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi, although I find it inappropriate for him to have gone to Israel right now, that he has not agreed to the sort of United States plan for Gaza, but has gone with the UN plan for Gaza. That is a reiteration of India's foreign policy and commitment to ensuring a just path is found forward.
Right.
And I think there the Prime Minister needs to be commended. Of course, his visit currently, while there is a genocide going on Gaza, is unacceptable in my opinion. But these are geostrategic concerns that perhaps the Prime Minister has received better advice on. Who am I to judge at the level of Prime Minister? But visit regardless. I think that is the way in which, for example, the BJP has also had a historic stance on Palestine. We've supported Palestine. The BJP has also supported Palestine.
Yeah, of
Atal
course.
Bihari Vajpayee
Yeah.
was one of the earliest supporters of Palestine.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, even
this government, if you
even
cut
this
a lot
government,
of
I will
noise,
give them credit.
they've done a lot for
they've done a
Palestine.
lot for Palestine.
Correct.
In fact, the Palestinian ambassador to Delhi has reiterated time and again how much the Indian government has done. Right?
Yeah.
We might all have our
At
political
the same time,
differences.
Israel is a very important strategic partner for us.
Correct. And I think maybe we need to have an honest debate and discussion.
Right.
Right? About should we be buying arms from Israel right now?
Sharad, Pawar Saab is such a fascinating personality in Indian politics. I mean, everybody knows how witty he is when it comes to taking decisions. He's of course a Chota Chanakya of sorts. But when it comes to say defining, going with the trends, identifying somebody like you, or does it come from somebody else in the party, or is somebody as senior as him understands where the trend is going?
Listen, all decisions at the end of the day are made by Pawar Sahib.
It's
Right.
signed by Pawar Saab.
No. He does not sign anything he has not seen.
Okay.
He does not accept anything he is not fully on board with.
Okay.
This is not a man who runs his party like someone who will not review every single decision.
Right.
From the nomination of an MLA or a Zilla Parishad member to the appointment of a national spokesperson, Sharad Chandra Govindrao Pawar is reading every single document.
So how did you
He might
crack it?
agree with it, disagree with it, and that's the advice he'll take from everybody. I came because of Supriya, right? And because of Jayant Patilji, who I worked with extensively over the course of the Swaraj Yatra. I helped out the party in the Lok Sabha elections despite not having formally joined the party. I'd gone there after my ex-boss Milind Devraji left the Congress and joined the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde, and I said, I don't think it is.
What are some questions I can ask him? We have a podcast lined up, but we skipped it a couple of times because he had to attend meetings in
What are
Delhi.
some of the questions you can ask Milind? You can ask him about me. You can ask him, why did you not manage to get Anish to become an MLA in the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde? Would have had a bright political future. The CM was still Eknath Shinde ji, and I think that 10 years I
But would you also find it easy to transition between parties
No.
in Maharashtra because
No.
it'll be easier?
No.
Come.
Ideologically, I'll tell you, ideologically, I sit uneasy with both Shiv Senas. I grew up Maharashtra in Mumbai. I grew up opposing the Shiv Sena, even under Babasaheb Thackeray ji, vociferously while growing up, right? I don't believe in.
But they probably
linguistic
won't target you on
politics.
Valentine's Day.
No, but I think as a Marathi speaking person in Mumbai,
Yeah.
I can't agree with the targeting of non-Marathi people. Right? I have a fundamental belief in Mumbai's cosmopolitanism.
Yeah.
And for that, we need to defend Marathi without violence.
In fact, I was thinking we will do our hook on Belagavi because of the violence that is there.
Oh gosh, now Belagavi, I'm not getting into
It's a
that. I'm
NOC.
calling up for a party line. It depends upon the season and the again, Belagavi, Bapre. I can't say anything without a party line.
Yeah. No, it's a very
It's
sensitive issue, but I
it's a
think
very complicated.
I hope delimitation puts an end to many of these disputes.
Will it?
To be fair, it'll create new ones, but at least there'll be something new.
Delimitation, the state boundaries are not going to change.
State boundaries are probably going to change once the delimitation is done.
You think so?
It has to come in succession. Even if you look at the Vajpayee government tried to do delimitation, but ultimately Chhattisgarh was carved out, and I think it's
No,
a
so newer states
necessity
might
for
be
the-
carved out. But I think
Yeah.
Belagavi's complication is that it's not large enough to be a state.
Right.
What I am worried about with delimitation is precisely this project, right? when the Congress-led UPA government carved out new states, it carved out a Telangana from Andhra Pradesh, which was a very, very contested move,
Yeah.
even amongst alliance partners, right? This
Yeah.
was not the linguistic division of states. So far, we'd had a linguistic division of states.
Yeah.
Telangana and Andhra Pradesh both speak the same language, right?
Correct.
They're both Telugu-speaking states. How do you now reconcile the creation of Telangana with the demands for a Vidarbha, with other demands for the splitting of UP, with other demands in the south as well, right? Those are one concern. The bigger concern for me is if this instead leads to a union territorification.
Right.
Belagavi, union territory. Mumbai, union territory. That's what we're afraid of. That's why so many of us have spoken out against the BJP. 107 people lost their lives at Hutatma Chowk to prevent Mumbai from becoming a union territory, which would have robbed Maharashtra of its capital.
Right.
Our fight is to keep Mumbai the capital of Maharashtra. The fight is not against outsiders. The
Yeah,
fight
there are
is
threats
against
issued against
removal of
Bangalore.
autonomy.
Yeah.
Look what's happening in Ladakh. Sonam Wangchuk is still in jail for demanding what? He said give statehood to Ladakh. Ladakh is currently a state, not a state, sorry, union territory
Union
without
territory.
assembly.
Yeah.
Without assembly. It is the least democratic part of this country. Article 370 was better than the state that Ladakh currently has. What a joke.
So why do you think there is hesitancy on the part of the government?
Because the government, like any governments, will love power when it's available to them.
Right.
Listen, this government is no different from any other government.
Correct.
Indira Gandhi had a lot of power, she consolidated it and she misused it.
Right.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a lot of power,
In that sense,
he has consolidated
isn't
it
a little
and he's
bit-
misusing it. That's why we have to speak out against him, like we did against Indira Gandhi, like I will against my own party. Should we consolidate power and do things badly? So should you, for example,
Yeah.
against my party. I don't know if I will do it against my party if I get some ministerial berth, vagera, vagera. At the end of the day, all politicians are
even
hypocrites,
now
me
you
included.
can't. If you do it now, then you will definitely not get a ministerial berth.
No, I think this is what I respect about the party. The party, as long as you're not critiquing it from a position of malice, is very accepting of critique.
That's most
Even
parties.
public critique. Well, some parties. I think
But
both your national parties are unable to accept critique. The BJP cannot accept critique of itself. The Congress cannot accept critique of itself.
Right.
Especially from amongst its own workers, but definitely from others.
But they do have an active way of seeking feedback.
No, they don't.
That is how
Why is
the BJP
Mani
keeps-
Shankar Ayyarji forced to make statements like these in public? Why is he not raising these
It's quite
within the
tragic.
party?
Yeah.
Listen, this is a former external affairs minister. He's a very senior leader of the party. You don't ignore someone like that. If Mani Shankar Ayyar has to go to the media, no, then party communication systems are broken. You can't blame Mani Shankar Ayyar. Everyone loves to make him a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Subramaniam Swamy,
Yeah.
Rajya Sabha sitting MP, has to go to Twitter. I'm saying agree or disagree with what he says. I personally disagree with most of what he says.
Most of what both says.
No, Mani Shankar Ayyarji I agree with more than I agree with Subramaniam Swamy.
Sure.
But Subramaniam Swamy, I don't agree with his critique of Prime Minister. I don't agree with the personal attacks he makes on him. Low level politics. We should never make politics personal. मतभेद होने चाहिए, मनभेद नहीं. He's doing that. I don't agree with it. But what is the party doing? Why have they not been able to hear him out? Someone only does this after they've reached a point of frustration in a party. Both your national parties are reaching a level where leaders are frustrated. It's precisely what happened to the Congress party. That's why people like Pawar Sahib left.
Yeah.
That's why leaders like Mamta Banerjee left.
Milind Deora.
That's why leaders like Milind Deora left.
Correct.
That's why leaders like YSR left. It happens in every party. That's
You need to take everyone along.
you
In that sense, what's your view on Rahul? Do you think he's illiberal because that's the...
No, in fact, I think he's one of the most competent leaders the Congress party has had. He listens more than the old guard.
And where do you think it's going wrong for the Congress?
No, listen, it's a large organization, right?
Yeah.
The Congress has structural issues. I don't think this is a personal issue. The problem is you need a whole second rung of leadership that is respected enough to be listeners rather than speakers.
Right.
And that can re-energize the party. That leadership will be created.
Yeah. From what I've seen,
It
the
takes
organization of the Congress, there's a lot of infighting. And the leadership is probably unaware
But
of all of these things.
new power centers will emerge from this infighting.
Right.
Let it settle. Remember that it's only been 12 years since a party that was in power for a majority of Indian history was voted out of power.
Right.
right? The Congress party remains one of the most dynamic fighting forces in this country. Their vote share is remarkably intact in a place like Maharashtra.
Yeah.
We struggled in the municipal corporation elections. So did the Congress, but they still did fairly well. We did not. In the Zilla Parishad elections as well, the United NCP did incredibly well. The Congress didn't do badly.
But do you fear that the regional parties are probably going to take a back seat, especially with
Not
what's
at all.
happening?
I think the Congress will remain a junior partner in regional party alliances and places where there are regional parties. In states where there are no regional parties, we need the Congress, right? In a Madhya Pradesh, in a Rajasthan, in a Chhattisgarh, we're going to see the Congress be very important. In Punjab, you'll see the Congress becoming very important again. Will the Congress be important in UP? I don't think so. Will the Congress be as important now in Maharashtra? I don't think so. Will regional parties be more important in Maharashtra now? Yes. And will the regional parties be more important in states like West Bengal? Yes. But you'll actually see the Congress re-emerge in a state like West Bengal where there are two regional parties. Right? So you'll actually see the Congress do fairly well, even in a Tamil Nadu, where there are two regional parties against each other and two national parties are coming in. National party politics has a space in Indian politics. Nobody is denying that. But regional parties have an equally important role to play, and your state governments will be primarily sort of determined by regional parties.
You also head the Darashiko Fellowship, right? It's very interesting. We actually made a very detailed explainer on Darashiko.
Oh, no way. Did you go up to Parimel?
Yeah. No, sorry.
Parimel in Srinagar is where he sort of did most of his translations.
Yeah.
So his most relevant years were spent in Srinagar, not in Delhi, which a lot of people forget about Darashiko.
Yeah.
And that's why we had a fellowship, an interdisciplinary arts residency in Kashmir.
Do you think Indian history would have been different had he taken over the
I don't
reins?
believe these hypotheticals. Yeah, quite honestly,
Engage me.
history is. I think Indian history would have been very different had Aurangzeb not arrived on the stage.
Yeah.
One of the most important things that happened was the arrival of Aurangzeb, because we finally found a way to defeat the might of the Mughal Empire. Right? Aurangzeb was a blessing, because in many ways he allowed us to find our most true voice of resistance. Until then, you were fighting a Mughal Empire that was not ideologically opposed to you. Right? When Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj comes up with the idea of Rayate Cha Rajya, he says that Aurangzeb's reign is so cruel that I will not bow down to him. Not that I have the right to bow down to him or the might to bow down to him. I will bow down to him even if I am weak. And I will keep fighting, not because the fight will make me win, because it's a fight worth fighting.
Yeah.
You know, these are narratives that we can pick up from the Holocaust, right? Why did you oppose fascism or Nazism?
Yeah.
Not because you would win.
Yeah.
The people opposing fascism there did not oppose fascism because they would win. They opposed fascism because it was fascist. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj did not oppose Aurangzeb to win. He opposed him because he was Aurangzeb and stood contrary to the values of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
And those were secular values, liberal values, real, true Hindu Hriday Samrat sort of values, which would have made him a true sort of Hindutva Swaraj icon. And we forget Hindutva Swaraj in this pursuit of Hindutva.
Correct.
We need to go back to Hindutva Swaraj.
Do you think Hindutva Swaraj will somehow evolve? Because every leader carries a certain aspiration and they have their own orientation. Now, Mr. Modi has its own style of politics. Devendra Fadnavis is an emerging power center and it's very interesting. So how are you observing this?
You know, I had remarkable respect for Fadnavis ji. I met him in a TV debate, actually, funnily enough, in 2014, before the Lok Sabha elections, when I was working on Milan's campaign. And he was part of that debate, and he was mayor of Nagpur back then. And I was like, this man will become chief minister. Little did I know that just a few months later, he would be chief minister, right? Remarkable potential.
What did you see in him?
One, I'll tell you this, a close sort of, at Justice Dharmadhikari's funeral in Mumbai. Devendra Fadnavis ji was there. Remember, Justice Dharmadhikari had been one of the fiercest critics of the BJP. A Gandhian to his core, right? Opposed them left, right and centre, but from a very just way. Would rule in favour of them as well. He used to be acting Chief Justice of Bombay High Court. Somebody whose funeral you would not expect a BJP or RSS leader to go to. Right? Ideologically opposed to the RSS. Devendra Fadnavis was on the first row. He stayed for the entire duration of that funeral. He did not look at his phone. He did not talk to anyone around him. He gave that funeral the respect it deserves. That's the quality of a real leader. Policies, speeches, rhetoric, all of that can be forgotten.
That maturity is missing these days.
You have to observe a leader very close to see that.
Yeah.
So I respected him. I don't know if I respect him as much now. I think he thinks that playing to the gallery will earn him respect. I think he needs to stick true to his own values. His own values are far more moderate than what he has to portray now. I was very disappointed with Batenge to Katenge and Ek Hai to Safe Hai being raised in the Maharashtra elections. The Devendra Fadnavis I know would not have raised those slogans in 2014 and would have actually fought to ensure that the BJP also was more secular.
You can forgive them saying that it's political compulsions.
No, not really, na. Not really. Although I will tell you this, after the Pahalgam attacks, I will give him this credit as well. When there was action, or rather there was a mob coming after a Kashmiri student in Nagpur, because all Muslims were being targeted
Right.
across the country, which was wrong, and the Prime Minister himself said so.
Yeah.
Devendra Fadnavis's office, in one phone call, ensured the police commissioner herself was involved in the matter and ensured that none of this was tolerated in Maharashtra. I will criticize him because the Bajrang Dal and the VHP
Sure.
say ki we will raise Aurangzeb's grave.
Hmm.
I will say that is wrong. I will say it is unjust for a sitting chief minister to allow a mob to make these statements when that sitting chief minister is also home minister. I will be his fiercest critic. But I will also acknowledge that after Pahalgam, he prevented any communal incident from happening in Maharashtra. That I still respect him.
Is it true that Vidarbha is changing a lot of late, or is it a lot
You know,
of
I don't want to
propaganda?
get into this debate of whether it's changing of late. This infrastructure narrative that's put in is this
Yeah.
past that this BJP government has tried to make into the only thing that matters. You build a 13,000 crore rupee Atal Setu. The KEM hospital is
Yeah.
still lying in the same condition it was. You fix that first. I don't give a shit about your Atal Setu. Please take your infrastructure somewhere else. If you are not ensuring that patients who are coming for cancer care to the Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai do not have to sleep on the floor, then shame on your government, shame on your infrastructure. Let all of it collapse like that metro slab is collapsing. May that be your curse. May your bridges collapsing be your curse because you made them into your India shining moment. Those bridges will be the reason that your country will never forgive you.
Interesting.
And I do not say this lightly. It's a very, I mean, this is why I don't like this rhetoric. Like, I'm not going to outcompete and say, nahi, humne zyada raste banaye kya. Nahi, that's not
It's all
the
glossy
question.
when you look at it in the pursuit of this.
Not even glossy. I'm
Yeah.
saying you built the roads, but what about the rest?
Correct. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't mind the roads. Of course I don't mind the roads. I take the metro all the time. I don't own a car. Like this is why I'm Gen Z, I genuinely hate the concept of owning a car. I've never lived in a city where I need a car. I grew up in Mumbai.
Yeah.
I studied in New York. I came back to Mumbai.
Yeah.
I went to Oxford where सब साइकिल पे जाते हैं, चल के जाते हैं.
Correct.
दिल्ली में रहता हूँ, मेट्रो इतनी अच्छी है, गाड़ी की जरूरत ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
तो I still respect the roads and the metro because they've helped me
Yeah.
regardless of my political affiliation. But some more needs to be done.
Correct.
What about all the other things? Where's Swachh Bharat? How many public toilets can you use in this country?
It's a behavioral thing, Anish.
No, but I'm saying public toilets is not a behavioral thing, na. Bandho na or bandho. I'm
No, I
saying the
agree.
ones,
Yeah,
the
there are
Sulabh
not
Shauchalayas
enough.
are well maintained.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about the quality, I'm complaining
When
about
I
the
have
quantity.
to take a leak outside, I look for toilets. There's nothing available. I have to go to the nearest restaurant.
Exactly.
And
And
वहाँ
who
पे
can
कुछ
go
नहीं
to a
होता.
restaurant?
You can't explain the rules to them.
No, who can explain? Who can go to a restaurant?
Only a
Can the
person who's
Swiggy and
privileged.
Zomato
Yeah.
driver go to the restaurant?
They can't.
This was the
Yeah.
biggest thing they went on strike for. Everyone,
Right.
Dipinder Goyal says all of these terrible things.
Yeah.
I disagree with him. I'm like, where's your humanity? I don't disagree with your business model. I don't think you're like some evil capitalist landlord who's capturing everyone's sort of property. No, Baba, but I'm saying just listen to these guys and give them washrooms at your delivery counters and your dark sort of rooms or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Dark stores. Washrooms at dark stores. Dipinder Goyal, if you're listening, washrooms at dark stores. That's the number one primary demand. Fix that, people will respect you.
In Bangalore, I think there is some attempts to like give them some shelter, shade, and water,
By
and
whom?
all of that, by some elected representatives.
But why?
But why? Because the company is not doing so.
So,
Though, so
the
it's
job of the
responsibility,
government is
yeah.
not to become a nanny state, it's to enforce regulation.
I agree.
If
But
you
you
have
can't
a shop,
turn a blind eye.
Shops and Establishment Act. These dark stores are violating the Shops and Establishment Act.
Right.
Every single government should go against them for violating the Shops and Establishments Act. The Shops and Establishment Act states that if you have a restaurant or any premise that sells any items above a certain size, you have to have a bathroom.
Right.
Firstly for your employees, but also for your customers.
Right.
That's why every restaurant has to have a bathroom. You're not allowed to open a restaurant without a bathroom. Why are you allowed to open a dark store without a bathroom?
Have they issued a statement on this?
No, because they refuse to answer any questions. They say we are India shining. We are such an important unicorn. We are responsible for the India growth story. Criticizing us is anti-India. Anti-Zomato is anti-India. Wah. Anti-Swiggy is anti-India. Anti-Blinkit is anti-India. Sub anti-India. Are you serious?
So they're very important companies. We need them.
Okay, of
They're our
course, but
future.
all important companies
But
can also
feedback has to be
regulated.
taken very seriously.
I'm just saying some worker welfare, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Now you're going to say mining companies are very important, so don't give safety gear to all the people doing mining.
Yeah.
What nonsense is this?
Yeah.
Arey, wah. Thank you, sir. Chai aa gaya.
Ajay, tell me something about Supriya Thai.
What do you... Okay, so I was telling you about every decision
And I have a
being
complaint
taken.
also.
Arey, she's not responding to your calls. I know.
No.
Then?
That we will do it through you. That's
Arey,
not a
no,
problem.
do not do it through me. Please take her number directly. Please do not reach out to me for Supriya Sule. She does not like it. I keep telling people
She's
I'll
been
give you a
bullying
number.
a friend of mine.
She's been?
Bullying a friend of mine.
Which one?
Tejasvi Surya.
Oh dear, poor Tejasvi, yeah. Like, she's very sweet to him off camera.
Yeah, of course.
Only in parliament she said something which she deserved to have things said for. You know, he's a remarkable young man. I respect him a lot.
Yeah.
His work on public transport and civic concerns in Bangalore, remarkable. He's gained much respect in Delhi because of that. I don't know what respect he has in Bangalore, but in Delhi he's respected because he actually comes well prepared for discussions on civic issues. But then he makes statements like, if you're with Modi, you're with India, you're against Modi, you're against India, then who's going to take you
तो
seriously?
इलेक्शन से पहले टिकट मिलना
अरे
चाहिए
पर
था.
कौन सीरियसली लेगा? मैं यही कह रहा हूँ, आप 5 साल के नेता मत बनो, आप 50 साल के नेता बनो ना. 5 साल बाद अगर आप स्टेटमेंट बना रहे हो which you will regret, don't do that. That's the fundamental mistake of politics, which a lot of young politicians make. I'm
You
speaking
have
like I'm not
opinions.
very young politics, but
You're 29.
I'm 29.
Same.
Oh. I didn't make it to Forbes 30 under 30 before I became 30, so I'm guessing I
You
won't
have
go
one
to
more
jail.
year.
नहीं अभी हो गया
No,
ना.
it's a little bit. हो गया.
हाँ, whoever goes on Forbes 30 under 30 goes to jail, no?
Yeah.
But I'm already in the opposition. I will eventually be in jail. So why need Forbes 30 under 30?
कोई नहीं. Everyone needs a story to enter politics.
No, exactly. I had my story to enter politics. Please, I don't want to go to
We'll
jail.
make sure
If I
that-
go to jail, I want to be in a VIP cell. Can I please have a TV like all the other nice, very...
All the dark stores will have good washrooms there.
Correct. Please give me the nice cell with the VIP cell, please. I want to go to jail nicely if I ever have to go. That's why I'm a politician. Why did I sell my soul to politics if I'm not getting nice treatment when I go to the police? Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
What's her name?
This is Paris.
Paris.
He is the cutest but also the naughtiest.
They
So
look
he is-
very healthy. Both the cats.
They're all only fed ghar ka khana and then dry food from Royal Canin.
Nice.
Because the butcher comes and gives nice taza meat which is cooked for them.
What's the other one called?
There's Paris, Pico, Ted,
Okay.
Bitey and Ninja.
There are 5 of
There
them.
are 5 cats.
Where are the other 3?
They're all roaming around. This is... 2 of them are very scared. Bitey and
Okay.
Pico will get very scared and hide inside my cupboard whenever somebody new comes.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja will be running around somewhere. Paris will come roll around the floor there. And then Ted is lazy, so he'll just probably sit inside in the shade. So he doesn't particularly like the outdoors.
Maybe you should name them after Marathi rulers.
No, please. I don't want to get into trouble. People were like, Pach Panda, ye, wo. I was like, next thing you know, that'll be the critique. Anti-Hindu.
Yeah.
Named his cats after the Pach Panda.
Correct.
Fairly neutral, apolitical names.
Who else on the opposition side that is you admire?
Wait, first let me tell you about Supriya Thai.
Yeah.
You know, so Supriya Thai and I never knew each other. We spoke at a conference, the Harvard US India Initiative Conference in
Right.
Delhi. In Mumbai, actually, many years ago. And we'd stayed in touch after. And she'd always given me a guiding hand, etc., when I was navigating even my work with Milan. And after, or rather, I'll tell you, my first meeting with her in Pune was at home, at Modi Bagh,
Okay.
where Pawar Sahib and she live. It is an apartment in Pune. And the one thing you will notice when you enter is the pride of place is occupied by a massive bookshelf
Okay.
with like literally 1,000+ books in it. And the first question or the last question that's always asked to you is, what are you reading? So that's when I was like, Acha, this is a politician I truly admire. And Pawar Sahib, of course, is a politician I admire deeply, but a reading politician. Very important. After Milind left and joined the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, and I said I can't go that way ideologically, I reached out to Supriya and said, this is what it is. I don't know what to do. Election is coming up. I want to work in politics. Do you have any work for me? She was very graceful and she said yes. Connected me to Jayant Patilji's son, who I managed to sort of work with, and we set up a media team for the party before the Lok Sabha elections. It did well. And a couple of months after, I was sitting at 6 Janpat for breakfast with her, and this was a few months after we'd won 8 out of 10 Lok Sabha seats.
Right.
It was when
In
the party was widely expected to come to power in Maharashtra in the Vidhan Sabha elections. That ended up badly.
Yeah.
But in that moment, right, there was an energy and an enthusiasm. We'd like won 8 out of 10 seats. We didn't have a symbol until then. We didn't have a name until then. This was the underdog winning. What a great time to be part of this party. And Pawar Sahib had proved everyone wrong and said an 85-year young man can still wow the nation time and again. And he will wow the nation again soon.
Yeah.
But at this moment, I was like, this is going wrong. This is going wrong. This is going wrong. Just about that. And everyone was stunned because they were like, oh, he's like going ham.
Yeah, it's a landslide.
No. After the election, I was sitting down for breakfast with her. And I was telling her all of these things are going on. And everyone around was like, you're supposed to praise the party. You've won. you can't say things like these. And she's like, you fix it. I was like, you fix it? I thought I was only pointing out the problems. I'm a critic. I'm a writer. So this is what I do. I'm not a get things done politician. And heart, I'm an academic. I love writing and reading. I don't know what to do.
You can prepare reports.
Correct. I can prepare reports. I don't know how to act on those reports. That's what I'm learning through this job. And she was like, fix it. And I was like, give me a position. She's like, what position? I was like, national spokesperson.
Oh yeah.
Raises one eyebrow. 3 seconds. Okay.
That's a fantastic story.
I'm like, what just happened? None of this was prepared. I didn't think I was going to ask for a position. I was like, I'm helping out with the party and I'll help out with the Vidhan Sabha as well. I'm not going to join a party formally. 10 years in the Congress, I never joined the party formally.
So since when are you the national spokesperson?
August 2024. 5th of August 2024, which was my birthday according to the Hindu calendar.
Oh wow.
And I had carried prasad from Renuka Devi's mandir in Sandwad, which had just come from the day before, who is my Kuldevi. And what are the odds that I'd come to give prasad for just like my birthday? I ended up giving prasad as like celebrating
party offers as well.
National spokesperson appointment.
Lovely.
So life comes full circle, yeah, sometimes.
That's such a heartening
What I'll
story.
tell you with this is that what it showed me about Supriya is 2 things. It's just praising myself, partly.
And Supriya so that we can get an interview later.
No, correct. But praising myself a little bit. But she has an uncanny ability to judge people well. Can I tell you something which was really disappointing for me to see?
Yeah.
She'll get mad that I'm saying this, but during Ajit Dada's funeral, Supriya played such an important role. When news of that plane crash was made public, everyone rushed to 6 Janpat, Sunetra Vaini Path. She ensured that everyone came to Baramati as quickly as possible. She took charge of that funeral. And when you take charge of a funeral, you're also doing lots of things at the same time. But the trolling was, what is she doing? She doesn't look like she's grieving.
Yeah.
Selective footage was taken. She was trolled. She was mocked. The same thing is being done now with Sunetra Vaini. She's become Deputy Chief Minister. Why is this happening? What is this woman doing? Only 3 days of mourning. If the son of a Deputy Chief Minister had taken over after his father died, that same evening, nobody would have had a problem.
Yeah.
It is because the wife of a Deputy Chief Minister has braved insurmountable odds and taken on a mantle despite her own unwillingness to. She says, I felt like Jizau Mata, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's
Yeah.
mother. This was a burden that I was not meant to carry, but that was thrust upon me. But
Nobody
I will bear
expected
it.
it.
With pride.
It would come as a shock. And in fact, one day is not enough to process that grief.
No, but
You're
I
still
think,
coming to terms with
no,
what has
but I
happened.
think the strength of that woman is she processed it for Maharashtra, for the country. She was mocked. She was mocked recently at the tea party that is customary before the budget session begins
Yeah.
for not being like mournful enough. Do we expect this from anybody else?
I agree. There's rampant sexism on all sides of the political
Correct.
aisle. Even when people
But
mock
it takes, can I tell you,
Nirmala Sitharaman, for instance, saying that, somebody left you because of so and so. It's a tragedy that you're, dragging somebody's personal life.
But
into
can I tell you,
public.
this is precisely why the women politicians in this country are so much more secure than their male counterparts.
Yes.
They deal with all of this trolling
Yeah.
and they are unaffected by it. I will give credit where credit is due to the finance minister.
Yeah.
Criticize her all you want on policy. Criticizing the sari she wears on budget day? No,
It's not done.
not done. Not done by anybody, including our own party leaders. I'm not saying anyone in the opposition is blameless for this.
It's
Both
equal
sides
on
equally.
all sides.
Both sides equally. Sexism in Indian politics is a bipartisan issue.
In the
I wish
last
more things were bipartisan.
podcast
issues.
with Malavika Avinash, that is what we were discussing. We were discussing whenever a woman rises as a power center, there is nobody, no man can come as close. You look at Jayalalitha, Mamata
Yeah.
Banerjee, incredible women. I mean, you may disagree with the politics that they
100%,
represent,
of course, disagree with the
but
politics.
the incredible grit. There's no man who will come close.
I won't say that also. We're not going to go that far, but I'm saying that they've done it despite all odds, right? I think,
Yeah.
for example, anyone who comes from severe challenges, right,
Yeah.
is going to see this. Now, if you ask me, this is Baba Sahib Ambedkar's greatness is this, right? That he rose up against insurmountable odds. More contemporary politics, I think, even someone like a Chandrasekhar Ravan,
Yeah.
when you see caste identity, I mean, coming from oppressed caste backgrounds that really face the blunt of discrimination, right? The brunt of discrimination in rural India.
Yeah.
Coming up and being formidable leaders, right? Very powerful. Even now, for example, President Draupadi Murmu, incredible.
Yeah.
Doesn't come from a privileged family, doesn't come from wealth.
Yeah.
And what an orator. She was speaking at an event where the Chief Justice of India was speaking on prison reforms.
Yeah.
Chief Justice of India, Dhananjay Chandrachud, one of the most educated people I know, was not nearly as eloquent as President Murmu. Quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think there you see the value
Yeah.
of having your differences with the way in which the BJP uses her as a token to sort of support their anti-Adivasi agenda. Criticize that. Don't say that she doesn't deserve that.
Correct. Yeah.
That's so unfair to her.
Everything is, at the end of the day, symbolism in politics. So was the appointment of Dr. Abdul Kalam. But the man that he was,
Correct. Doesn't take away.
yeah, it doesn't take away the values that he represented.
And that's where the BJP understands representation far better than anybody on the left does.
Even if it's symbolic.
I'm saying symbolic hai to karo na, kuch to karo.
Correct.
Symbolic representation karo. Koi problem nahi.
Do you think the BJP will be okay appointing a queer spokesperson, especially because
100%.
Hindu culture mein
The
ye
first
nahi hai?
ticket to me was offered by the BJP.
Oh, is it?
I was 19 years old.
Oh wow. ये BMC के लिए?
They were like, we'll offer you a ticket. Why don't you join the BJP? So Madhukeshwar Desai, actually, funnily, take his name now, he's not very involved in politics. Madhukesh was and still remains one of the vice presidents of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha.
Yeah.
Foresighted leader. He said, why do you assume? And I had the same apprehension. I was like, you're very anti-LGBTQ plus. He's like, 1 second. Who said so? Has the Prime Minister ever said so? I was like, no. Has the Home Minister ever said so? I was like, explicitly? I was like, no. Then why do you think we're an illiberal party? And the BJP has been making sincere attempts. I disagree with them fundamentally.
Yeah.
Right? I think they're an attempt at pinkwashing if they're not done right. But I'm saying they're making some attempt. I get a lot of hate for this, by the way, and I'm going to get hate for this also. But today you're going to get me bajad by the left and the right.
Yeah.
Great. But, I got a lot of hate for saying that Mohan Bhagwatji's statements on queerness need to be taken seriously.
Yeah. I agree.
RSS sympathizer, RSS goon, you're supporting the right wing. I was like, I literally am part of the opposition. I have opposed Prime Minister Narendra Modi since before you were born. No, not before you were born. I'm not that old also. But I was like, what?
No, it's been a part of our DNA. It's been a part of
but I'll
our
tell
history.
you this. No, but Mohan Bhagwat's statements, I disagree with them fundamentally. He treats queerness as something that needs to be accepted as...
Right.
And,
I understand where you're coming
and
from.
we'll get to that. I don't agree with his reason for accepting queerness, but I'm saying at least he's making an effort.
Yeah.
Who on the left is making an effort?
Mm.
Supriya relentlessly speaks up on LGBTQ plus issues and I give her credit, but who else? Sonia Gandhi,
Yeah.
I give her much respect for. 2013, after the Supreme Court verdict, she came out and made a statement.
For a Catholic woman to be
For
that
a
liberal,
Catholic woman to be that liberal and to make that statement before an election year to say my morals are more important than the potential political fallout of this. Hats off. What a great leader.
Yeah.
If there's one person I want to meet in my life,
Yeah.
it is Sonia Gandhi ji. I haven't had the chance to meet her, unfortunately, or the good fortune.
Yeah.
She
It's in fact the
unfortunately doesn't
Western
take
values
me.
which are more opposed to
100%.
sexual orientation.
No, I wouldn't say that. No. I don't believe in this. This, I hate this. India is better, Indian is better, Eastern is better, Western is worse. No.
Hmm.
All are equally good and equally bad.
Yeah.
हमारे कल्चर में भी बहुत गंद मची हुई है. This Indian
There was
culture,
acceptance and rejection.
correct, but for everything, yeah, like
Correct.
it's not like the West there was only acceptance or only rejection. So I think in that way they're fundamentally different. What I think is very powerful about India's example is that it is irrelevant in a public space.
Hmm.
I often say this about religion in India. I say we're a country divided by religion but united by festivals.
Hmm. Yeah.
In a city like Mumbai, the most Islamophobic people would still go to Muhammad Ali Road for Eid,
Hmm.
for iftar,
Hmm.
for eating sevaiya, even if they were vegetarian.
Correct.
They're non-vegetarian, they're all eating the nihari.
Correct.
Cutter Islamophobes will probably say कि सभी मुसलमानों को बाहर फेंक दो. उन्हीं मुसलमानों से खाना खा रहे हैं. Same with the Cutter Muslims. They would all go celebrate Diwali and light firecrackers.
Yeah.
Would otherwise vote for AIMM and maybe say that Hindus are all bad or this is kafir, right?
Yeah.
Both sides, at home, whatever they might say,
Yeah.
in public they were like, Acha chalo, it's fine, yeah. As long as you don't riot, you're good, yeah. As long as violence is not tolerated, that's good. My biggest problem is not that Bajrang Dal exists.
Yeah.
Is that the Bajrang Dal can ghirao a police station in Fatehpur Beri and stop a young woman who has been coming there for escaping an abusive husband from leaving that police station. That's not allowed. The minute those goons try and go against law and order,
Yeah.
beat them up and send them to jail.
What I was very impressed also, Anish, is that you highlighted how there are minorities among minorities.
Yeah.
We don't speak about, how diverse even the Muslim community, for instance, in India and across the world is, and that is what this one unidirectional view of a certain issue, it sort of blindfolds you to a lot more diversity that's out there.
And my biggest problem is we reduce this diversity when we make it political.
Yeah.
Right? You spoke about diversity within Muslim communities,
Yeah.
there's diversity within Christian communities. Both are not entitled to SC reservation, right? And this has been a major sort of debating point. Right? Should we allow reservations on the basis of caste to Muslims and Christians? Technically, Islam and Christianity do not recognize caste. So when you convert it with the promise of leaving caste.
Yeah. But in India, it exists.
Correct.
Yeah.
The pejorative term is maka pav.
Hmm.
Why? Because you converted for a slice of pav.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you converted because you're going to get better treatment there. There's a sort of deep hatred for your conversion that prevents us from extending reservation
Yeah.
on religious lines, on caste lines to religious minorities. At the same time, it's very difficult to figure out the caste of somebody who's from a religious minority. You don't have a caste certificate. If you converted that long ago, the rule has been in place for so long that it's very difficult for me to separate a sort of caste oppressed Muslim from an Ashraf Muslim.
Correct.
So logistically as a government, how do I now determine who is caste oppressed within Christians and within Muslims?
Yeah.
Right? There is a valid, I don't think it's an insurmountable concern. I think it's a valid concern but not an insurmountable one. We've had the same concerns around Adivasi populations because of encroachment and sort of non-Adivasi populations being in spaces for very long periods of time. But in these questions, the minute you politicize them, it becomes BJP is saying ki we don't want to. Should we give reservations to Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims so that the Dalit Hindus and the Dalit Buddhists are like, oh no, our reservation will be taken away and we'll have to expand the pool, right? We get into this zero-sum game framework
Yeah.
where everything's like who's going to be taking our part. That's what's preventing solidarity, right? When all of these complex questions are made political, solidarities can't emerge. The Dalit starts hating the Muslim starts hating the Hindu starts hating the Dalit starts hating the queer person starts hating the Muslim. You just fragment. This is divide and rule. Complex issues, when they turn political, fuel this politics of divide and rule on all sides. Of course, I think the BJP is the architect of this divide and rule policy, but I don't think it's the BJP only that should be blamed.
Do you see content creators entering politics at some
100%.
time?
I'm saying content creators are the next politicians. Instagram influencers are the next politicians.
Yeah.
100%.
But
They're more in touch
would you
with
have the
people.
conversion rate?
100%.
Maybe in Mumbai you represent an urban audience largely.
Baba, I was in Karanja, which is in Yavatmal Masham district. One of the most backward districts of Maharashtra. Okay. It's, I don't know, a comparable one. It's bad.
Sure.
All governments have failed Karanja. More work needs to be done in Karanja. Karanja deserves more attention and Yavatmal Vashuk deserves more attention that it has received.
Okay.
Which is why you also see the demand for a separate Vidarbha emerging from spaces like that, right?
Okay.
Over there, I was with Dr. Fauzia Khan, who's our Rajya Sabha MP, and we were addressing a rally before the Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha elections. And I was going there to help all of these people with social media. I thought I was going to train people to get Instagram and like Facebook. In a crowd of middle-aged women in Karanja, where they probably could not go out without a padar 10 years ago. All of these women were on Instagram scrolling through reels.
Oh wow.
इंस्टा चलाती हैं, व्हाट्सएप नहीं चलाती, इंस्टा चलाती है.
So it is working.
Boss, I'm telling you, there is no doubt in my mind.
Ranveer probably missed his window.
He will re-emerge. I think he's a smart young man.
I think he's smart. Yeah,
he's
he knows the
incredibly
game.
intelligent.
Yeah.
I don't think he can be dismissed so easily. He's made some mistakes, but all of us do.
Correct.
I think he was too eager to gain favor with the government. And he's realized that all the people he interviewed, not one of them came out in his support.
Stood up. Yeah.
Why was some random national spokesperson from the NCP SP the first person to speak up on national television politically in favor of Ranveer Allahabadiya?
And he's still not invited you on the show.
And he's still not invited me on the show. No, I can't go on a show and all now. Please.
फिर aliens होंगे आपके party में.
हम मतलब I get lots of hate for whom? For going on Arnab's show. Everyone in the party is like,
Arnab's hosted me off the record and he's such an incredible person.
He's one of the smartest politicians in the country. Oh. That's the blooper we keep. One of the smartest news anchors in the country. I genuinely respect him as a journalist.
Yeah.
He's got his biases, his political...
It's his style.
It's his style, yeah. He's always been a bit of a...
If you've noticed, he's already adapting to the changes seen by social media. He's doing a lot of social media driven content. आजकल नहीं चिल्ला रहे.
He will always be the most relevant news anchor in this country.
Because he knows how the tide turns.
100%.
He understands the market.
Everyone else is 5 years late.
Yes.
Only thing he was not foresighted about, I don't think he was very smart about, was that massive studio they've constructed. It's an age where, for example,
like a
I don't
college
go to the
campus,
studio.
yeah.
It is. But I don't go to the studio, right? Like, so
उस तरफ रेल की पटरी है.
हाँ. I actually think, I mean, it's larger than the CNN headquarters in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know that when I was there, they gave me a tour and said the most LED screens in the world before this were purchased by Al Jazeera. We said we'll buy one more.
Yeah. I've
So I
been
think
telling
they
him
hold
that
the
we'll do a
record.
podcast in his studio. He's yet to come around.
You should really do one. I think he's a remarkable man.
Correct.
And I think...
Because I know Arnab as Vinod Mehta's boy. And Vinod Mehta is somebody I've grown up reading.
Yeah. So also, I mean, he's trained under Pranoy Roy, of course.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's been a Times Now anchor who really asked the difficult questions. I mean, I still remember his interview with Raj Thakre.
Yeah. It's still there on my. It always keeps popping up because it's such.
It'll never be irrelevant. That's real journalism.
Raj
An
Thakre
interview
is
where-
somebody I want to sit with, and I want
You
him
should.
to intimidate me.
You should. I mean, he will. But
Yeah.
incredible mind, right? One of the few people who does not know how to unfortunately manage his own
I was talking to
party and-
Tuhin Sinha, and he told me, I asked him the question of whether Raj Thakre is a wasted potential because he has a personality, man. I think women were really after him at one point.
Everyone.
And even the masses really liked him because they genuinely thought he's the true successor to Bala Sahib.
You know, when Raj Thakre ji started his political party. I should say Raj Sahib now, this is a problem. But I'm kidding. No. I love the fact that I can get away with all of these things. I say I'm young. But when he started his political party, right, I was very, very thrilled.
Mhm.
I was somebody who opposed the Shiv Sena because of Hindutva politics, but I still believe that Marathi culture needs to be protected and preserved. I translate Marathi poetry into English. Right? When he started his party, it was supposed to be secular Marathi nationalism.
Right.
The true spirit of Prabodhan Khar Thakre. The true spirit of the Sanyukta Maharashtra movement.
Okay.
Somewhere along the way, I think he lost his way. When the party symbol changed, when the party flag changed, it was only orange. The strips of blue and green had disappeared.
Because maybe he feels that without that identity, he's nothing.
I think only with that identity is he something. You can't outcompete on Hindutva with the BJP. Stop.
Correct.
Stop.
Is that a mistake many opposition leaders are doing?
100%. I'm not saying you have to become some card-carrying Marxist as a response.
Yeah. As a response, they are doing that.
Which I think is both sides are silly, no? But regional
Yeah.
parties are not doing this. The TDP manages to do this very well.
Yeah.
The NCP under Ajit Dada was managing
There are
to
no
do this very
obligations
well.
for the NCP or the TDP or the AIDMK
Yeah.
to do so.
Even Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde doesn't take on
No,
such a hard Hindutva
even the
stance.
communists in Kerala have become such capitalists. Yeah, they're inviting Adani, they're doing everything.
Yeah. So I think, listen, we're politics is a strange moderating force in this country. You can't be a politician and an activist at the same time.
Right.
I would love to be criticized for being sort of not progressive enough. Instead of being criticized for being regressive. Or being in jail. Right?
Yeah.
I'm an incremental progress kind of guy.
But do you ever
grew
give up
from-
because we are people who expect to have first world freedom in a third world country that's struggling to
इनकलाब
move?
आएगा. I think my strategy for everything is जो मैं अभी कह रहा हूँ, I should be able to stand by it 50 years later. That might not get me eyeballs right now.
Yeah.
That might not curry me any favors right now. I mean, listen, my critique of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu got me denied a US visa. I was supposed to speak at the Harvard India conference. I cannot. I'm supposed to speak at the Stanford India-Pakistan conference next month. I most likely cannot. And it is shameful that an opposition leader is denied the right to represent his country today because of his views on the Prime Minister of a third country, which are completely in line with India's foreign policy. My policy is a two-state solution, but even advocating for that now is getting you into trouble. Right? If you think in a 5-year way, you don't make that kind of a statement.
Yeah.
If you think in a 50-year way, we are saying that the end of my political career,
Yeah.
and this I look to Pawar Sahib, right? At 85, the man lives with no regrets.
From spending a couple of hours with you, what I feel is that you're refreshingly honest. Of course, you have your political views and you have to subscribe to some
Now,
things.
those I will always give.
But
you.
I think you've at least 70-80%, which is a very good score, by the way.
I love this honesty score, 80%. You should do a ranking of all the politicians you've rated and their honesty score. How honest you think they were. Do guts.
They were
no?
very honest,
Piss some
but they
people
didn't
off.
want to address the issues that I wanted to address.
So
them.
then, piss some people off and say not honest. You have to give critical feedback to all of your guests. Can I tell you
Yeah,
honestly?
I think we should do this.
Your podcast will do so well, and then only invite people who are
I've
willing
been
to get
waiting
this
for
feedback.
people. I've been waiting for
देखो,
people
आप
like
मुझे-
you who can
yeah,
open
you
up.
can give me and be like, honestly,
Look,
like this, I did not find him compelling here. Those like reviews, refreshing reviews of
I want to
people you
host it
meet.
like Rocky and Mayur used to host Highway on My Plate.
Yeah,
Which khana ka lo hai, 4 on 10.
correct. And also be like, and give an honest feedback. And I would recommend that you write about this. I think a post podcast piece should be your impressions about the person, and it should be in a completely sort of that's not me is not the audience. The audience, the rest of the world. If I like it, I like it. If I hate it, sucks to be me.
Right.
That kind of musti is missing, There used to be like Blitz magazine that Benjamin Horniman.
We felt that Karthi Chidambaram was extremely refreshing.
He gets into trouble for being very refreshing. Have you released
Yes.
his interview yet?
Huh?
Have you released his podcast?
It was
yet?
the second podcast we did actually,
Okay.
but it didn't do so well. In fact, it gave an inspiration to many other podcasters to pursue him after that.
It didn't do so well, you said.
No, some of the reels did well,
Acha.
but I think we didn't market it enough.
See, this is where I'm glad it didn't do well, because otherwise I'd have to be on national television talking about why Karthi Chidambaram said X, Y, Z. I'm like, he's an incredibly intelligent man.
Yeah.
Um,
After the
and-
interview, he told
but
me
this
two
is
things.
where, left and right. I told
Yeah.
you, the national parties cannot accept criticism of themselves by their own party members.
Mm-hmm.
BJP members cannot criticize the BJP. Smart Congress members like Karthi Chidambaram cannot criticize the Congress. This is the problem.
Who are the funniest people you know among your peers in political circles?
Oh my god, I love Shehzad.
Shehzad is
He's
funny, very
hilarious.
funny.
And I have a great time on TV with him.
We used to do this podcast with Shehzad.
Really?
And, yeah, and I was so young, right? And he's been a big brother in that sense. He used to make it a point to make me laugh.
That's
because I
great.
used to be very nervous in my earlier days.
You have to laugh. I have so
Yeah.
much fun on TV. Like,
Yeah.
the other day, Rahul Shivshankar was like, you're so somber. Today you're looking so somber. And then he asked me some question. And I'm like, you now made me laugh even when I was trying to be somber on your show. And so Rahul Shivshankar is the other guy. Pranesh Roy, I love in my
Pranesh is
profession.
great.
Pranesh
Yeah,
is
I've
great.
heard.
Shreya Dhaundyal is my favorite anchor. She was my first anchor. I love you, Shreya. She was the reason I became famous
Nice.
in many ways because of a discussion on
Oh, because of
Aurangzeb's
that
grave.
clip, yeah.
Which went
Oh, that went
completely viral,
Right.
and it was hilarious because I didn't realize back then nobody knew me, and after that clip, a lot of channels started calling me, so I was very
Alright.
grateful. So Shreya, I love everyone in this profession is so much fun. Vasudha at NDTV, Gargi at NDTV, Padmaja and I had a great laugh and great thali in Mumbai at Chaitanya, the best seafood restaurant in Mumbai, which is next to my house in Prabhadevi. Who else?
What about the politicians?
Politicians, mein, I don't try and hang out with politicians too often. I stay away from politicians as much as I can.
Okay.
I have a rule: no elected representatives beyond my front door.
Right.
I'm like, वो बाहर मिलेंगे. घर पे, please, no politics.
Yeah, I think some distance is always helpful.
Hi, I love being in Delhi because I get to meet people who are writers, academics, filmmakers, artists. Those are my people. Like,
So you're a Rajya Sabha kind.
no. I love.
Arey, you to want to be in BMC, yeah.
I want to be in BMC.
You
I don't
missed the
want
bus.
to go to Rajya Sabha. No. Ticket कौन देगा सर? आप
अरे
दो, please.
सर आप तो नेशनल स्पोक्स पर्सन
पर
हो.
आप हमें टिकट दे दो ना. मैं तो तैयार
मैं-
हूँ,
मैं
आप
बात
टिकट
करता
दे
हूँ
दो.
सुप्रिया ताई से.
प्लीज आप सुप्रिया ताई से बात कर लो.
I do
आप
something.
मांगोगे तो हमें टिकट मिलेगा. जनता जनार्दन चाहे तो.
मैं कराता
और
हूँ.
आप बताओ कहाँ से लड़ना है, क्योंकि हमारी कोई पैदाइशी सीट नहीं है ना, तो हम थोड़े वहाँ पे डगमगा जाते हैं. शुरुआत
दादर
कहाँ से
कॉलोनी से
करनी?
लड़ लो.
I considered I was really keen on becoming cooperator for Paharganj.
Uh-huh.
Because I would have loved to be cooperator for
Delhi is
Paharganj.
very
I live
accepting
here.
that way, yeah.
Huh?
And Delhi is very welcoming that way.
Delhi is very welcoming that way. So can you please ask any next Congress politician you meet, or actually can you ask Supriya if she'll give me a ticket from Paharganj and whatever alliance we're a part
And
of?
NCP can establish its base.
Correct. Can I please be the only NCP corporate? I'll be the group leader
Yeah.
in the municipality. Have fun. And
Yeah.
the municipality is a super fun place. And
The other person we want to talk to is Arvind Kejriwal. He's completely gone off.
he's
of the
not
scene.
taking any interviews or anything right now.
It's lying low.
Yeah, we thought he'd become Rajya Sabha MP right now with
Yeah,
this
and make some
upcoming elections, but apparently he's not going to. Apparently he doesn't want to be in the house.
I think it's a good thing. Even the Janta needs a little time to process. Their anger.
I think the Aam Aadmi Party will be a viable political force in the years to come. The Aam Aadmi Party is an incredibly brilliant political party. It's run by some of the
You
smartest
cannot
people I
write
know.
them off.
Not at all. I think only silly people will write them off after this loss. एक इलेक्शन में पार्टी बनाई या हारी नहीं जाती.
Correct.
That's why when people are like, oh, are you going to leave the NCP, SP, oh, this happened, that happened, Maharashtra, Vidhan Sabha. It's like, you forgot Lok Sabha so quickly. One Vidhan Sabha election and you forgot that Lok Sabha so quickly.
Yeah.
Short-mindedness and short-term sort of politics will not suit anybody.
You did your thesis on linguistic politics of Senegal.
Yes.
How is it different from India?
Very similar actually. So this was one of the questions I got asked in my Rhodes interview. Because Gopal Gandhi ji was the chairperson of my Rhodes interview, and he actually had read up on Senghor and Nehru and India and Senegal and the similarities between the two. So he was like, tell me how these two things are similar. why did you study Senegalese linguistic politics and how will this help you here? And I said, sir, in many ways, Senegal is very similar to India. Francophone colony, Anglophone colony. Senghor, poet president, Nehru, scholar president. After independence, both find themselves in a peculiar position. The language of the law is colonial, French or English. The language of the elite is colonial, French or English. The language of the masses is fragmented. So Wolof in Senegal is spoken by a plurality of the population, but by less than 50% of the population.
Okay.
Similarly, Hindi in India is spoken by a plurality of the population, but less than 50% of the population.
Right.
So language like Marathi is very strong, Bengali is very strong, Tamil is very strong. All of our regional languages are very alive, significant regional languages. So what do? If you make the central sort of services language into Hindi, those who grow up being native Hindi speakers will benefit more. Somebody else has to learn that language anew. If you make it English, it's a colonial language, right? Now in Senegal's case, the problem was even more complex. Wolof, Pular didn't have scripts. They were oral languages.
Okay.
They had to get a script introduced for them. And so there were huge debates around how this linguistic politics would play out in a similar way to which we forget that the linguistic division of states in India was not an easy process. Huge debates about whether this should be the case. Huge debates about whether this was the right way forward. Even today, many people who are good thinkers, including within the RSS actually, headquarters of which is right there in Jhandewalan. So we can walk to the RSS headquarters after this, and some of my dearest friends are in the headquarters there. Prafulla Ketkarji, who you should interview, the editor of Organizer.
I know Prafulla ji very well.
Very, very intelligent man.
Yeah.
One of the people in politics, and rather you will never say he's in politics, who I respect.
Yesterday I spent time with Sheshari Chari ji.
Oh, very good. Both of them, very intelligent.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. I disagree with them on nearly everything and we have lots of debates, but very intelligent.
Oh, he's also Marathi. Oh, you have the Marathi connection. Yeah.
His wife, if I'm not wrong, is a professor at JNU, and his son is also a very good debater who came out of St. Stephen's. But that linguistic division was a very contested phenomenon, and so was it in Senegal. And the approach that was thought of was Senghor's approach, which said that French is as much an African language as any other.
Right.
And so why is English not an Indian language?
Indian English is an Indian language.
Shashi Tharoor.
Why, bro? You come here, that's all Bangalore, no?
Correct. Yeah. And we're like this only.
Yeah.
If you come to Bombay, you speak like this only, na?
Interesting. Correct. It's actually true.
It's Indian.
We own up to it.
We have to own up to it.
Yeah.
We have to own up to it. I'm not saying Hindi is not important. हम यहाँ दिल्ली में बैठे हुए हैं, हम हिंदी में भी बातचीत कर सकते हैं. हम दिल्ली में 4 साल पहले आ गए थे हिंदी सीखने के लिए, क्योंकि हमारी हिंदी कच्ची थी, हम बम्बईया हैं.
करेक्ट.
तो तभी जब हिंदी बोलते, अरे तुरे करके हिंदी बोलते, अब हमें हिंदी बोलनी आती है और हम समझ रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम दिल्ली में रहते हैं, राष्ट्रीय राजनीति करनी है. So I'm very happy to talk in Hindi.
तू उसे आप हो गया अब.
बिल्कुल. Mais on peut parler en français si tu veux aussi, hein. Parce que ça, c'est aussi important. Et moi, je suis aussi confortable avec le français qu'en anglais. And I'm very happy in all 3 languages, and I love learning more languages. I want to learn Tamil, I want to learn Bangla, I want to learn Kashmiri to read Dal Ded's poetry, I want to learn Bangla to read Rabindranath Tagore.
Je parle un peu français.
Ah ouais? Il faut l'étudier, hein. Il y a de l'Alliance française juste à côté.
I want to sign up.
You must.
Because I've been to, till the B course, I've done that. I've done French in Alliance Française.
Is incredible.
But my teacher was very bad.
The teachers here are spectacular. I mean, you are going to move to Delhi soon.
I was the youngest in the batch and I felt a little bullied, so I left.
No, never. It's always good to be the worst person in the class. I was always the worst person in my French class.
But I loved learning French.
That's how you learn, by being the worst at it. We're always in this self-fulfilling prophecy bias mode, where everyone wants to be the smartest in any room they're in. You have to be the stupidest person in any room you walk in.
Yeah.
That's where you learn. That's why I love politics.
And I can go to Senegal as well.
100%. And you must. It's a very long flight from here, and you have to go from, if you take Kenya Airways, then you're going from Mumbai to Nairobi to Bamako to Dakar. And you spend almost a day getting
You've been there?
Yeah, I spent almost a month there, more than a month there.
For your thesis?
Correct. And I presented my thesis there. I traveled across a bit. I was at the archives. I went to Senghor's old house. I met people who knew him. It was quite incredible, and I think it's one of my favorite places.
So when you look at the fight over linguistic divisions in India, what do you think is the solution?
A capacity for imagination. Languages are not static tools.
And the stomach for tolerance.
No, the stomach to enjoy a language rather
Yeah.
than treat it as some sort of
Disease.
some commodity. You know,
Correct.
like I want more people to read Marathi poetry. I want more people to watch Marathi theatre. I want more people to see Marathi cinema like Sairat. Create more cinema like Sairat and more people will speak Marathi. Force them to speak Marathi, they will not speak Marathi. Introduce Marathi as a subject in school, they will not learn Marathi. They will just learn sasa sasa, disto kasa, da 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 da. You know, that's all most people know after many years of learning Marathi. The solution that we found is so outdated.
It's a bigger insult to the language.
It's a bigger insult to the language. So this solution we have to get away from. Who will think like this? Uday Samanji is now the Minister for Marathi Language. He's doing a very good job. There was a stall at the Jaipur Literature Festival this year for Marathi language. Amazing. Amazing. So many young people from across the country were discovering Marathi through this stall. That's what we need to do to promote Marathi. I commend him on doing that. He's in the opposition. He's in the ruling party. In the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde of all parties. But what a great guy, yeah. He's hit the nail on the head. It needs to improve. I've sent some suggestions. Make bilingual books. English on one side, Marathi
Correct.
in the other. You know?
Yeah.
Marathi on one side, English on the
English
other.
is important for the industry.
No, I'm saying Hindi on one side, Marathi on the other.
Correct.
So imagine, you know, poetry has to be
We
read
from
in
the
the
south here,
original
we know
language.
minimum of 3 languages.
Tamil on one side, Marathi on the other.
Yeah.
I'm saying bilingual is not just Hindi and the other language or English and the other language.
I can speak 5, I can understand 12 languages.
Amazing. And that's incredible. And you know, in some
And
streams...
it's easy, it's not difficult.
See, that's why this conversation is so boring. Like, Hindi, no, three
Correct,
language
hai na?
formula.
Fight
Three
like
language
monkeys
formula,
over it.
boring.
Yeah.
Why don't we have more translators translating from Tamil into Marathi? From Marathi into Odia? From Odia into Naga? You know?
Our Shastras, Puranas, all of them were translated like that.
And
तो क्या English था
interchangeably.
तब?
No, I think the Shastras and the Puranas are a bad example, by the way.
Mhm.
The Shastras and the Purana get translated from Sanskrit into various languages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like how Greek gets translated into English, French, this, that,
Right.
right? That is done. Ho
yeah.
gaya. Very nice translation, and that was important back then. That was cosmopolitan back then. Today, the opportunity is to actually translate contemporary cinema.
Right.
You know, I'm more interested in what is a young writer in Mizoram currently writing about. And why can't somebody reading in Marathi or Tamil learn about what a young writer in Mizoram is writing about? I'm more interested in what is somebody writing in Kashmiri, reading that in Urdu.
Yeah.
Or actually, they're too similar. So, reading that in Tamil or in Marathi. You know, that's the fun thing right now.
Correct.
And that's why sometimes I'm a little AI skeptical, but that's why I'm sometimes happy also about AI.
Yeah.
You can translate from any language to another language. Pehle kaise hota tha na? What used to happen is, I work very closely in publishing. And used to have this situation. Earlier, what happens is, Hindi work gets translated into English. English translation is translated into
Into
Marathi,
Tamil or
into
some-
Tamil, into all
yeah.
the... You're reading a double translation.
Right.
Not fun.
So it's lost in translation.
No, it can also be improved in translation, but one level of separation is good enough. Maybe actually you can translate from English into Hindi and the Hindi into Marathi and the Marathi into Telugu. Translation is a fun process. I don't think it dilutes the language. In fact, as a translator, I can't say that because I think it's a new product.
Okay.
It's fun.
Interesting.
But this I can speak to you on this topic for hours. This is my beyond the
We
politics
can
bit.
go ahead if you want to.
Poetry, nahi.
But yeah, we won't have a lot of eyeballs,
हाँ,
unfortunately.
Correct. Unfortunately, कोई poetry सुनता नहीं है.
Tell me
पढ़ता
about
भी
your
नहीं.
grandfather.
You know, I never met him. He passed away before I was born.
Okay.
So, he was born in Yeola, which is next to Nashik, which is where the Paithani sari comes from, which is also where Tatya Tope, who fought with Rani Lakshmibai, comes from, who was my ancestor.
Okay.
So, Tatya Tope fought in the first war of independence with Rani Lakshmibai, and I now live on Rani Jhansi Road
Arey wah.
in Delhi,
Beautiful.
which is quite remarkable. But my grandfather carried that legacy of being Tatya Tope's descendant with him to Mumbai,
Okay.
where he came to study. And he was the professor of Sanskrit at Ruya College in Mumbai. And over there, he participated in the freedom struggle. So he was at August Kranti Maidan when the Quit India Declaration was given. He writes very beautifully of it. He quotes Wordsworth and says, if I'm not wrong, what a day it was to be alive. You know? And he works closely with Ambedkar on initially the constitution, but then the sort of Hindu code bill, which was the first step towards the UCC
Yeah.
in some ways,
Yeah.
which the BJP seems to have forgotten. They opposed it tooth and nail back when the Hindu code bill was introduced.
Yeah.
But
They
now
still
they want to
criticize
bring on
Nehru
the
for it.
UGC. One of the most remarkable pieces of legislation.
Yeah.
He translated the Dayabhagas from Sanskrit into English for Baba Sahib so that the Hindu code bill could be framed accordingly.
Right.
Then he went on to become principal of Government Law College in Mumbai,
Okay.
where he served as principal for 17 years and mentored a lot of the sort of legal minds that are in our midst today.
So it's
And
an academic activist family.
very academic family. When he was asked to become Vice Chancellor of Mumbai University, he said, I'll only do it on my own terms.
Okay.
And Aliyavar Jung used to be the governor of Maharashtra at the time, and the governor is technically chancellor, but only
Right.
ex officio,
Right.
right? Doesn't have any actual powers.
Right.
And once Aliyavar Jung tried to tell my grandfather what to do, and he said, Governor, you mind your business and I'll mind mine. And the governor agreed. He said, You're right, Tope. Principal Tope. He still like being called Principal Tope back then. It's like, You're right, Principal Tope. That is overreach on my part. What fine men. One who never wanted to enter politics, but could stand up to power. The other who was in power as governor under a Congress party that had put him there and was very strong, who could realize that an overexertion of that power was wrong. So he became Vice Chancellor. He was always an academic. He was then appointed as Sheriff of Bombay under Pawar Sahib, funnily enough, but the family had lost connection with Pawar Sahib and with the NCP long after, or soon after. I mean, it was never really a political appointment, and he passed away very, very soon after.
Right.
So, Sheriff of Bombay, when it was still
That's
called
such a
Bombay.
cool title to have.
It is a very cool title to have. That's what I would love to be, honestly.
Sheriff of
Nobody's
Bombay.
occupying the post right now.
Next Sheriff of Bombay was Balasaheb Thackeray.
No. Babasaheb Thackeray was never Sheriff of Bombay.
No, not in an official
Arey,
capacity.
acha, unofficially. Yeah, I mean, the sheriff was a very ordinary post. You didn't get a salary, but you had to drive all the VIPs around. So
Oh,
it was one of those wonderful positions in Indian politics that is
interesting.
titular in head. And
This was when?
1992?
Oh,
1990? 1990. Before the
now
riots.
I'm assuming the title is discontinued.
No, it still exists. Indu Shahani ji was the last person to be sheriff of Mumbai now. And after her, nobody has been appointed. Because
But what's the role of a
we've forgotten
sheriff?
It's a ceremonial role. You're the first citizen of the city, and you're sort of exercising a power that doesn't need to be power in
So
the
it's not the
political
sheriff
sense.
in a Western
No,
sense.
but it's you're titularly the head, right?
Okay.
Like it is. Imagine the position of governor, but at the city corporation level.
Understood.
Amazing, but such is life.
How do you spend time in Delhi?
With my cats, which you've seen all around, and watching television and reading.
Okay.
So
Head out anywhere?
I do. I think I have a very active social life in Delhi because I love all of my friends here. I've been
Yeah.
coming here since my uncle, who was in the Air Force, was posted here very often. So I remember coming here in the summers as a child
Oh.
and being at the Air Force Station 412 right here.
I moved to Delhi in summer and coming from Bangalore where it's just 32 degrees even in summers.
Listen, I come from Mumbai, so it's very humid in the summer. So this dry heat I love. So Delhi
You know,
summers I don't mind
I
at all.
prefer
I'm the
this
happiest.
heat rather than
Correct.
the humid
Mumbai
heat.
heat is too much.
Yeah.
Dry heat here is great. You put a cooler on, you
Yeah.
put your chick blinds on all of your windows, and inside you're living like a king.
Yeah.
So, you know,
This is a
that's-
fantastic property, by the way.
I love this house. I think
Never give it up for anything in the world.
I've never. I told my
And if
landlord
you're
and my
planning to give up,
landlady-
then please.
to you, you're one of many claimants to this house. Everyone has been told not over my dead body. No, it's a beautiful house, and I genuinely love Delhi because, you know, Delhi is the intellectual heart of the city in a way that Mumbai should have been. But Mumbai failed because we failed to make it affordable for creative people. We
Right.
failed to make it affordable for artists, for intellectuals, for writers, for theatre walas, for ordinary people working jobs, right? We've just made the island city into an island of privilege. What a shame. It's become boring. It's not the Mumbai that Comrade Dange fought for. It's not the Mumbai that Yusuf Meher Ali was the mayor of. It's not the Mumbai that Ahilya Rangnekar roamed around BST bus and local train, and as an MP, can you imagine an MP in Mumbai used to take the local train? यहाँ के MP metro कब लेंगे?
लेना तो चाहिए यार, उसमें क्या कौन सी बड़ी
कब
बात है भाई?
लेंगे? लेना तो चाहिए.
No, I understand your 9 to 5 hours you will need a car.
No, you don't. Ahilya Rangnekar did it without a car. 9 to 5
No,
as
you
an
have to
MP.
move around for
No,
meetings
you
and all of
don't.
that.
Then make the public transport better. Why should
Correct.
you have to move around faster than the common citizen does? Shame on you if you need to do that.
Yeah,
You are not more important than the people you represent.
yeah. I understand the frustration because I come from Bangalore and you know nothing more needs to be said. Metro
Yeah.
अभी बन रहा है 15 साल से कुछ भी नहीं बना है.
And no buses, no.
And it's very unaffordable, Anish. From if I have to travel 15 kilometers, I'm shelling out 100 rupees in Bangalore on a metro. I'd much rather take my two-wheeler instead.
You need to have, you know, this was a promise we made in Pune and we got mocked for.
Mhm.
Every metro in India needs to be free.
Yeah,
100% free.
yeah,
No fare.
yeah.
We spend absurd amounts of money on
And
that.
that's when people will start to use it, Baba.
100%. The footfall right now is abysmal. They're not meeting any of their targets.
Bhopal metro को देखो.
Every single metro is a failed project in this country.
I wouldn't say it's a failed
It
project.
is a failed
but
project.
It's not a failed project.
Footfall,
We
failed
require
project.
it. Footfall, yes.
Footfall. I'm
Yeah.
not saying the building is a failed
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
More people need to use it.
Yeah.
If more people are not
The-
using it, acha, ek second.
Yeah.
Demand and supply economics.
No, I
If
agree.
there's no demand,
Yeah.
it's because your price is too high.
Correct.
There is no market. You're not allowing private metro players to enter.
Yeah.
Allow private metro players to enter.
Yeah.
Make it a democratic market.
Yeah,
You're giving
when
tenders only to
Adani
your
can build
people.
airports, why can't they build metros?
Correct. No. Also, why can't anybody build an airport? You know, this government is selectively capitalistic.
Hmm.
They're oligarchic. Why just Adani? Why is only L&T allowed to build metros?
Hmm.
No, you have to question this logic for everybody. Why will Adani play with a
हर
different
गवर्नमेंट
rule
को
book?
कोई फेवरेबल बिल्डर होगा.
नहीं है ना, वही कह रहा हूँ मैं. वो प्रॉब्लम है कि वो आप सोच रहे हो कि these commodities need to be only single sort of party run commodities, right?
Hmm.
In the US,
Yeah.
you privatize electric grids. But if you're living in a house, you can choose to have one of 5 providers
Right.
giving you electricity.
Just the way we can choose our Wi-Fi.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why can we choose 5 different providers for Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
but only one alternative for electricity?
Hmm.
When Adani enters a place, the public sector has to leave. When public sector enters a place, the private sector has to leave.
Right.
That's not okay.
Correct.
That they need to expand. That's a policy question, right?
Right.
That I don't think you can blame the business for.
Hmm.
Business is going where it goes, and we get a lot of discredit for not opposing Adani enough.
Hmm.
Why will I oppose Adani?
Yeah. It's a bigger problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the space exists for a company to take over, the largest company will take over. This
Correct.
is where I think Rahul Gandhi's critique of Adani is also
It's short-sighted.
is not short-sighted, is incomplete.
Yeah, it's incomplete. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it short-sighted. It's valid critique.
Hmm.
Why should he not criticize? He has the full right to criticize.
Yeah.
Democracy
not
है,
the solution.
democracy है, सबको बोलने का अधिकार है.
Hmm.
Rahul Gandhi has the right to criticize Gautam Adani ji.
Yeah.
We have the right to also...
I'm just too concerned about them, you know, when they leap
No,
on the
no.
walls.
They're fine.
Okay. It's
Stupid.
quite brave.
Yeah. They keep doing their
Thumbnail
mockery.
ना इनके साथ लेते हैं, इनको बिठा देते हैं forcefully. And
बिठा देते हैं forcefully. वो तुम्हें बिठाएंगे forcefully. Cats can't be forced to do anything.
yeah, I've seen
Much like NCP, SP politicians can't be forced to do anything.
yeah.
We keep having our own mind.
Oh, I had a great line to ask whether you're going to be realigned. पता है क्या लाइन है?
बताइए.
आपके चाय में चीनी होगा?
अच्छा.
Chai, chini.
Who is Chini?
You come from the land of sugarcane, yeah? इतनी हिंदी सीख गया मैं.
आप भूल गए हो कि हमारे चाय में चीनी थी, हमारे चाय में चीनी है और हमारे चाय में चीनी रहेगी. Regardless of what aisle we fall on,
Yeah.
क्योंकि आपकी चाय बनती रहेगी, हमारे चीनी के बिना उसमें स्वाद कैसे आएगा?
अरे
चीनी तो हमारी है.
हम तो थोड़ा डायबिटिक है अभी.
डोंट वरी, हम
चीनी
आपको
के बिना
स्टीविया
भी
भी दे देंगे. हमारे यहाँ स्टीविया भी बनता है.
Stevia is a great business, yeah?
Listen, We are very, very
Last
good.
time I landed in Bombay, I met a friend and 3 hours of stevia
Mumbai.
discussion happened. Yeah, Mumbai, sorry.
नहीं, I'm not somebody who's
अभी
going
पिटना जाऊँ मैं.
हाँ नहीं, आपको पीटने नहीं देंगे, हम आएंगे. पता नहीं और कितने लोग आएंगे, हम आएंगे.
देश को आपकी जरूरत है, आप मत आओ.
नहीं. ये हमें भी लगा था. You know the funniest story is we had the stray dog protest.
Yeah. Oh, where were you on that issue?
I was the first person to come out and say that the judgment by the Supreme Court is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a very dear friend of mine call me up that day. And remember, this morning, Rahul Gandhi has been arrested. Priyanka Gandhi has been arrested. Supriya Tai has been arrested. They've all been detained for that vote chori march when they're going from Parliament House to the EC. My entire morning is frazzled because I've woken up at 7 o'clock. And I'm like on TV all the time because I have to respond to like all the calls coming. Are you supporting? Are you not supporting? Ye, wo, media bite, ye, wo. I'm getting a phone call at 2 o'clock being like, have you seen the news from a friend? And by this time, everything has died down. Everyone is back home eating lunch. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. It's all good because I thought that she thought that I was in the protest and I've gotten beaten up. I was like, don't worry. It's all okay. All fine. They've all been released. She's like, no. It's in the Supreme Court verdict. I was like, what Supreme Court verdict? And then I see this verdict on stray dogs. She's like, you have to speak up about it. And I was like, I don't know the first thing about dogs. So I was like, my sister is a dog feeder and she loves dogs. I've grown up with cats and I love dogs, but I love dogs in as much as I love coffee.
Sure.
You know, I'm not particularly in tune with the coffee world. I'm not particularly in tune with the dog world. But I was like, this order prima facie is illogical. How can you keep all stray dogs in a shelter? हमारे पास लोगों को रखने के लिए shelter नहीं है, orphanages नहीं है, आपको stray dog को shelter में रखना है. Orphanage बांध दो, shelter क्यों बांध रहे हो? Vaccinate, sterilize, release, common sense practice. Why is the Supreme Court interfering where it has no technical knowledge? You know, the courts have to stop intervening. This is where I stand with many people, including Prafulla Ketkarji, on judicial overreach. Courts have become too powerful. Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, a man I disagree with vehemently because of his vehement opposition to LGBTQ plus rights, is a man I agree with surprisingly on his refusal to let courts get away with legislation.
Right.
So I saw this, I critiqued it, it went viral. I got more attention for speaking on stray dogs. I've gone on TV more times for stray dogs on primetime television
than I have for
any other issue. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a new issue, you have to care.
It's also because young people were not speaking on it, so it would have been quite
no
honest.
other political party was speaking on it. They were all figuring out their stances. कहाँ जाएंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे. I was like, बोल देंगे.
And young people do care more about these things than the
previous and why should we ignore them also? Yeah, अभी now है, वो भी constituent है.
Yeah, कुत्ते is our constituents.
Correct. And I'm like, by the way, if you go and see it in percentage terms, it might be higher than a lot of other issues. So they're an important vote bank now.
Yeah.
So from a vote bank perspective, you speak out, but also from a brains perspective, you speak out. Yeah. What politicians are not realizing is that आप सिर्फ जात, धर्म इस पे बात करते रहोगे, नहीं वोट मिलेंगे आजकल आपको. So in that way, I spoke out and then I went for one of these protests. Protest में पुलिस आ गई. पुलिस मुझे detain करने की कोशिश कर रही है, मुझे पीट रही है. I raised my hands. I've been a veteran protester, so I was like, I raised my hands. People are pulling me back out. They pull me back out. A couple of us have finally called the protest off. We've said everyone needs to. I'm like a bystander at this protest who's now attended this protest because now people have recognized me from this video, and I'm like, okay, चलो करना है कुछ यहाँ पे. We've all asked the people to calm down. After that, the police files an FIR against me for a kutte ka protest.
Interesting.
And I was like, honestly,
affidavit पे जाएगा अभी, you can be proud.
Exactly. I was like, honestly, I'm very grateful. Affidavit पे जाएगा sir. 100%. और कोई पूछेगा तो मैं गर्व से कहूँगा.
कुत्ते के लिए मैं जेल गया.
कुत्तों के लिए मुझे जेल भेज रहे हैं. Because you look silly. Are you mad? You're detaining people and filing FIRs for a dog protest.
You'll be the laughing stock.
Yeah. I am not going to be like death of democracy. देखिए आप आ गए. हमारी बिजली काट दी. मोदी सरकार ने हमारी बिजली काट दी है क्योंकि ऑपोजिशन का पॉडकास्ट लेने आए हैं. आई एम नॉट दैट.
पानी भी नहीं है 3 दिन से. पानी भी नहीं है 3 दिन.
पानी भी नहीं है. सब कट कर दिया है. मोदी जी आया. What silly way to do opposition politics. I'm not going to make fun of I am going to make fun of the government for doing silly things.
Yeah.
You can't be outraged about everything. I feel like
correct.
When an outrage economy that I'm bored of, I'd much rather make fun of them for it. Ranveer Allahabadi case was like, भाई
It's
आपने India's
laughable,
Got
yeah.
Latent ban कर दिया, मैंने देखा उसकी वजह से.
Yeah,
I would not have known that this show existed.
correct.
So, do you even know what you're doing when you deal with the internet?
Yeah.
So my problem is, the government and all of its attempts to be strong-arming people is actually going against its own interests. It's what happened after Operation Sindoor. Overzealousness by our news anchors led us to become a laughing stock of the world. Kya bakwas?